Hello everybody, welcome to BrainPulp. My name is Ed, and this is Green Hell. Now, for those of you unfamiliar, this is a survival game where you play an anthropologist who is on the trail trying to track down his wife and fellow scientist in the wilds of a rainforest. Now, there's a bit more to it than that, but a lot of this is going to be sort of further revealed in the introduction to the game. So for those of you who are new to the game, this video is going to take you through the introduction. We're going to go through the very beginning of the game, right up to the point where the real game starts, where you really have to try and start to survive in the Green Hell. So this is going to be kind of an introduction to the game. Now, if you are used to playing the game, or you played it in the past, or you've seen the introduction, you may want to skip to the second video, as I've broken this up into two parts. That one will begin right when we're at the beginning of the actual survival aspect of the game. So you can go ahead, there will be a link appearing at the top of the screen now that you can go ahead and click on, and that will take you to that next video, the second video in this series, where you get into the actual meat and bones of the gameplay. Now, first and foremost, we are going to be doing a single-player game here. We're going to be doing the story mode, and we're going to be doing it at the difficulty of Welcome to the Jungle. Welcome to the Jungle, balanced survival experience, recommended for all players. Sanity is on, hostile tribes are on, predators are on, and nutrient depletion is normal. Now, this isn't the easiest setting, but it's also far from being the most difficult setting. I would love to try one of the more difficult settings later on, but for now, being fairly new to the game myself, I've only put a couple hours into this game in order to sort of like get my footing and figure out a few things ahead of time before creating these videos. I think Welcome to the Jungle is the exact setting I need. And here we go. Now, there are going to be certain parts with dialogue up ahead, and I'm just going to let the dialogue flow, and I'll make comments and various observations in between that. One last note before we finally get into the game, and that's that this was recorded over a few different sessions, and I will have had a various amount of sleep during the recording of each of these sessions. So there might be a difference in my voice or my ability to speak clearly, and I do apologize for that, but please try to bear with it and enjoy the video.
Okay, I'm here. Hey! I made it!
Is everything all right?
Yeah, you can come up.
You do know you have the walkie-talkie, right?
You can come up.
Just go ahead. I need to find something in my backpack.
What exactly? The gear should already be at the camp.
You will know when the time comes. Patience.
Very well. You can catch up, yes? The path leads through that canyon.
I know.
Okay, so here we are, and it's normal sort of movement, WSAD to move around. Every once in a while, the dialogue will pop up there, and you have to hit the walkie-talkie button and get into a little conversation, a little chat.
Oh, have you tied down the boat?
See. Jake, I know this might sound stupid under the circumstances, but I am glad we came back here.
Yeah, I feel you. The place is beautiful. Still,
we can't forget what we came here for in the first place. I know. But as soon as we're settled in, I am off to the Jawahaka village. And what if they will not speak to us?
come on, let's not get ahead of ourselves. You're a phenomenal interpreter. If anyone can communicate with them, it's you.
Good thing I have an anthropologist at hand, Dr. Higgins.
Okay, so some of the dialogue, I think the dialogue is good. It's weirdly delivered at certain points, so I'm not sure why, but for the most part, the dialogue is pretty good, and the voice acting seems to be pretty good in this. The actual layout and of the jungle itself, or the rainforest, is, in my mind, beautiful. I think they did an amazing job with that in this game.
Okay, I found the tent.
Is everything all right?
It's okay, or it's not a 5-star. Let's not be a complainer.
The camp looks impressive. They put up a tent for us. Looks like everything's ready. Soul Trail always delivers. At first glance, it looks like we have everything we might need.
Perfecto.
And that ends day 1, so we move on to day 2. things are set up a little bit better in the camp, as you're going to see.
Well, that's everything. We're officially settled in.
You know what that means, don't you?
I remember the agreement, but maybe we should reconsider this. I'm not sure it's the best idea for you to visit them alone.
Cariño, you know I have to do this. It's the only way to make them talk. Oh, don't worry. It'll be all right. Better pick up some wood. Let's have a romantic dinner.
Romantic canned beans.
Use your imagination.
Now, we're just going to go through some of these notes now, because we will eventually, so we might as well start reading them now. So, the Lost Tribe. This is their land, their heritage as it has been for thousands of years. Everyone who comes here needs to respect this. It's been 3 years since we saw them last. They often react with fear to the unknown. It's crazy, but we really need their help. Our entire plan depends on it. Now, there's going to be a couple references to this plan, and they're never going to tell us what it is. At least not at the beginning of the game, which is kind of sketchy, but, you know, it is what it is. And then we've got this. Rainforest mammals. Harmless! Exclamation point. Behind all the danger, there is still so much beauty within this jungle. Many small animals are a food source for the indigenous locals, rich in proteins and fats. They are a great complement to fruits and vegetables. So, you know, you can have a little armadillo stew going on if you want to, apparently, because I didn't realize armadillos were native to the rainforest, but I'm going to assume everything in this game is 100% accurate when it comes to the rainforest. Oh, we get to play a little audio recorder. I love these things in games.
I know it's common amongst Amazon tribes, but it's still worth writing down in your book. The dart frog, one of the deadliest amphibians on the planet, is completely harmless for the natives thanks to some kind of vaccination. The Jabahuaca, like many others, burn their skin and then puncture themselves, administering small doses of frog poison. They keep repeating the process every once in a while to stay fully immune to it. It's barbaric for us, but it's an everyday routine for them.
So to get a close-up of this frog that they're talking about, do not touch. Dart frog, this deadliest amphibian on the planet, is completely harmless for the natives thanks to the Kambo ritual. It sort of shows the ritual, and she went over it there before. So they burn part of their skin, inject themselves with the poison, and then over the years they become immune to the poison. Now, unfortunately, we do not have that history of vaccination when it comes to the dart frog, so I'm going to try to avoid them in the game. I haven't run into them. I thought I ran into one once in the game, but I'm not sure. I just saw a very colorful small object, and I ran the hell away from it, so I'm not entirely sure. So the how was it pronounced? The Yabukawa, I think it is how it's pronounced. Living in the deep interior of the Amazon, the Yabukawa is one of about 80 lost tribes. Due to a fear of the modern and cruel world, they mostly remain isolated. Will they welcome us? They are the key and the only lead as to why we're here, which again, we're going to be super vague and not make any notes about, so I'm going to have no idea why they're actually here. So we've checked out all this stuff. Then we've got this forest picture here, the emergent layer, the canopy layer, the understory, which apparently has nasty kitties in it, and the undergrowth, which has disgusting bugs. So, yeah, there we go. Okay, so now that our reading is all done, it's time to get to a key component, or a couple key components of this game. First and foremost is the notebook, which you can see here. Now, the notebook lists everything that you're going to learn as you play the game. Various tabs here have absolutely nothing, no entries. However, in the sort of first aid tab, they're going to mention the macro elements, the effects to reduce maximum condition, known treatments. Nuts are the best source for fats, fruits are the best source for carbs, meat is the best source for proteins, and there's also the need for water. So always drink safe or boiled water. Drinking unsafe water may lead to parasitic infection. And there's also talk about sanity, which is another thing that can affect you in the game. The effects are hallucinations. Known treatment is consuming an item with a natural anti-stress component. Increases sanity. Comfortable sleep increases sanity as well too. So there is information in here that we're going to find. Now right now, as you can see, there's not much, but there is information about a fire. So if we wanted to create a fire, what we would do is we would go over top of the fire, mouse over the fire, and then as you can see, it now is filled in with color. You would click on it, and it's going to create a framework for a fire here. Now the white area is an area that shows a suitable location for the fire, and red look shows that it's an unsuitable location. Now, there's also, I believe, sometimes where you can have a yellow area to these particular wireframes, but I'm not exactly sure what those are quite yet. If you know, let me know in the comments section. I'd love to hear exactly what the yellow section sort of means, or the yellow color to the framework means. So we need to start a fire. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk out here and place where we want to put the fire. This seems like a pretty good place right in the middle here. Nice little camping area.
Now, you may notice at the bottom of the screen, at times little prompts will appear telling us how to do various things. So, for example, in order to run, we need to hold left shift.
Ooh, look at us run. Look at us run, running. We're running. We're running. Hopefully not with scissors, but we do have machetes, even though we don't have scissors. Now, this is another key component to this game is scavenging. Finding things, picking it up, and then using it. Now, machetes, of course, are ready-made tools, so we're going to pick up 1, 2, and I think there's a third machete over here.
Honey, I can't seem to find a bag or two. Are you sure you brought everything?
Yeah, everything the porters left. Why? Is anything missing?
I'm not sure yet. But it feels that way.
Okay, so now that we sort of have a setup as to something that's going to happen in a little bit, let's talk again about more of the gathering. Now, we've gotten our tools here, the machetes, which are going to be great for chopping down trees, which is going to be useful because we now need sticks and small sticks to use to build the fire. So that is what we're going to do now. We can also forage other stuff from like the trees. For example, we can take the liana and we can hold E to grab some vines. So as we grab it, it's listed as rope in our inventory there, and we can go to the notebook, or we can use another part of the interface, which is this wheel here, which allows us to access things immediately. We're going to access our backpack right now. And as you can see, the main part of the backpack has nothing, but the red numbers here show that there's been some new additions to other areas. So for example, if we go to the rope section, that's not where I went to the rope section. There we go. If we go to the rope section, we can see that the vines we just collected have found homes on our backpack. Now, if we go to the tools section, which for whatever reason it took me to begin with, you can see that we have 3 nice new shiny machetes. Now, I want everyone to gaze upon these machetes and enjoy them while they last because, well, you'll find out soon enough. However, at this point, we are off to find some sticks that are suitable for our fire. Now, we can do this one of 2 ways. We can find them on the ground, like this one here, though it's not quite on the ground, and take them, scoop them up. There's probably more around here. Yeah, here's a larger stick here, so we can grab that one. Or what we can do is go to one of these smaller trees and start chopping. Now, the machete makes quick work of these trees, and it only takes about 4 or 5 hits for it to fall. And this is going to drop a variety of sticks, including a long stick, which we don't need right now. So we're going to gather up the regular size sticks, and there's another long stick here. Now, because we only got long sticks there, we need more small sticks and more regular size sticks. What we can do with the long stick is actually chop it once, boom, and then it is now a couple of regular size sticks. And we want to chop it again, and now there's small sticks. So this is pretty much something you'll be doing through the... Oh, we missed that one. There we go. So this is something you'll pretty much be doing through the entire game, is you're going to be gathering up supplies that you find and forage from the woods, and you're going to be using them in different ways. So where was that other long stick? There it is. So we're going to, again, chop this up, grab this one. I think this one we want to chop in half. I think, let's see, we've got, I think we need 8 and 8 of each. So we have 8 of those, 8 of those. How many large sticks did it say? Does anyone remember how many large sticks it said? Regardless, we're going to chop down another tree, which is, you know, not exactly eco-friendly, but we're doing this to survive. So I think some people will forgive us for doing this. And there we go. You can also find other things here, like, for example, an unknown nut. You can take the unknown nut. I've never actually used any of the nuts that I found yet in the game, but still, I'm sure there is some purpose for them. Possibly food, which seems the most likely thing that it could be used for, but there could be some other thing that we could use it for as well, too. So we got another long stick. We're going to chop this up to get regular size sticks again. So we have 6, 7. We're going to keep grabbing sticks until we run out of room. Here's another unknown nut. And over here we have a bird's nest. So let's go ahead and grab this. I'm not going to tell you why. I know why, because I've gone through the introduction before, but I'm not going to tell you why, but we will find out soon enough. Some more sticks. Okay, so now we have 9, 10 large sticks. And we cannot pick... Okay, so we can't pick up any more small sticks. This is one of the things with the inventory. Even though we have plenty of other room in our backpack, the actual stick areas are no longer able to hold any more of these smaller sticks. So I'm not sure if that's true for the... Yes, it's true for the larger sticks as well, too. Now, if we did have a couple less larger sticks, we couldn't put smaller sticks in that spot. There's just simply a limit to the number of small, large sticks, and there's only a specific area we're allowed to carry them. Okay, so now that we've gathered our sticks, we are going to head to the fire, and as you can see, click E to insert the stick. So we're just going to keep clicking E, and it's filling up the sticks in the fire. So now we have all the small sticks in there, and now we're going to have all the large sticks.
Well, looks like everything's ready. Mia, Can you bring me a lighter?
Remember when I mentioned we seemed to be lacking some equipment?
Don't tell me.
Yeah, we have no fire.
Not a single lighter, nor box of matches. We ordered both. Did you check everywhere?
I did. You need to do it the old-fashioned way.
Well, not the best start of the expedition.
And this brings us to something else that's interesting in the game. Now, the notebook is going to get filled up with new information on new items as you sort of learn or figure out how to create them. So if we go back to the notebook, we now see that we can create a hand drill using a stick or plank and a small stick. So we are going to go to our backpack, and this is going to sort of show us how we can start crafting stuff. On the menu on the side here, you can see that you can click the crafting button, and that brings up our trusty crafting rock. And now what we can do is we can go find the right items that we want to use and put them together. So for example, in order to do the hand drill, we need to take a large stick and a small stick, and then you can see here it says hand drill now, so we can go ahead and craft that together.
I need to find something dry.
And as if by magic, we now have a hand drill in our inventory. So as he just said, we do need to find something dry, but we already did in the form of the bird's nest. Sorry, that was kind of a bit of a spoiler, even though I didn't exactly tell you what it was for. So in order to use items like this, we're going to go to them and right-click them, and it's going to bring up this menu. You can see we can either use it or destroy it. We don't want to destroy it, so we are going to use it. And he's going to hunker down onto the ground and hold his drill in his hand, and there's nothing crazy or phallic about that. So we're going to put this bird's nest here.
Bitch!
As you can also tell, he is pretty angry when he has to create fire, but we did create it.
Oh, Mia! The fire is burning.
And now we're going to brag about it.
Coming. Give me a minute.
How do you do it?
What?
You seem so calm.
I am calm. I don't know how to explain it, but strangely, it feels safer here than there.
Oh, I don't know. Jaguars, venomous spiders, and snakes. Let's not forget the scorpions. A mere ant's bite hurts like hell.
I am well aware of that. But still, we have a chance to achieve something. Make a difference. At home, all we could have done was be helpless and wait. I prefer the wilderness.
I love you. If I'd have known where my ambition would lead us, if I knew it would put you in danger, I wouldn't have written that damn book.
Yeah. And if everyone had that attitude, there would be no scientific progress whatsoever. Don't blame yourself. There might still be time to reverse the whole thing. And I love you too, Cariño.
Nonetheless, I'm a bit worried about you meeting the Yabawaka.
Everything will be fine. I need to go alone. We already agreed that's the only way. Besides, they don't seem to like you.
They don't seem to like outsiders. They shot arrows at a military chopper.
Hard to blame them. Since you published your book, they've been under siege by the media, scientists, doctors. The World Health Alliance established a medical camp and probably performed research, violating the tribe's taboos. But I will convince them. I have to.
And that brings us to day 3. Now, one of the things you may have sort of noticed, which I've noticed several times with the dialogue, is it almost seems like the dialogue in this, while voice acted well, has been put through Google Translate in some way. It just doesn't seem natural coming off the tongue. The lack of use of contractions when it comes to certain words and so on. That's always something which I find odd, because it's spoken really well. But I would always assume that someone at some point would have pointed out, hey, you know what, this sounds a bit awkward. But again, I don't know anything about how voice acting works or how much input they have in the actual material. So, but I do find it kind of strange that the dialogue in here does seem a bit Google Translate-y, but maybe that's just me. Also, is it Jaguars? I've always thought it was Jaguars, but I could be completely wrong. But just so you know, I'm going to refer to them as Jaguars if we ever run across them again in this. But yeah, Jaguars is something I've never heard before. Anyways, now it is time for us to wake up and search the tent, apparently. So we're going to do that real quick. And looking through here, there's cans of stuff. We got some sort of chocolate bars or something here. And, ooh, look, there's a note. Well, let's go investigate that note, shall we? I'm at Village. Call me with radio when you wake up. P.S. There's a little gift for you. Love, Mia. This is exactly what I'm talking about. I'm at Village. Call me with radio when you wake up. Now, maybe it's because they're sort of in amongst nature and they're getting back to their primal instincts and they're, starting to write notes like cavemen. But yeah, this is sort of along the vein of what I was talking about when it came to the dialogue as well, too.
Hello? Mia?
Hey, sleepyhead. Finally up?
You left already? Why didn't you wake me up?
You know I hate farewells.
Well, I was hoping we'd have breakfast together. You surprised me, that's all.
Admit it. You thought I forgot your birthday, didn't you? Well, I didn't.
And this is going to bring us to another valuable sort of item that we're going to have in the game to help us survive. And it is, oh, let's not climb on the furniture there, fella. It is our watch here. It's a smart watch, and it's going to monitor a whole bunch of things and give us a lot of information. And we'll take it, and I can show you.
Exactly what I wanted. It even has solar batteries.
And a macro element scanner. Check yourself to see if you're not missing any. We've been here only a few days, but stress can wear you out.
Tell me about it.
Okay, so to check the watch, you need to hit F, and it's going to bring up your wrist like this. And this is going to monitor your vitals here. So we saw that before in the notebook, the fats, the proteins, the water intake that you need to watch out for. So you need to keep an eye on this watch because it's going to help you survive. You can also use the scroll wheel. And the scroll wheel is going to allow you to switch to a compass setting and a time setting, which could be valuable in the future as well. So now we need to search the tent for something nutritious so we can fill up the one bar, which I believe is proteins. And I think we already saw something before. We couldn't pick it up then, but maybe we can pick it up now. Let's go see. Yes, protein bars. So we're going to take every protein bar in the tent that we find, and here we go. And once again, climbing on the furniture. Protein bar, perfect. And we are going to go to our little wheel here and go into our backpack. As you can see, the food section now has something populated there. We have the nuts. We're not going to try the unknown nuts. We are going to instead try and eat the protein bar. And that's going to fill up proteins, which is not surprising.
Well rested and well fed.
Perfect. And keep it that way. We need that brain of yours working at peak performance.
I'll try to take good care of it. Have you found them yet?
See. And as expected, they don't want to talk. They behave as if I am not here.
But they haven't driven you away. That's a good sign. You need to convince them that you're one of them.
Agreed. That seems to be the right course of action. I will sleep on the edge of the village and only eat what I can find.
Just be careful, please.
I will. But if I am to live like them, we can't be talking so often.
You're right. They're suspicious of technology.
If anything goes wrong, I'll leave the village and get you on the radio. Otherwise, you can assume everything is just fine and there is no need to worry.
All right. Let's focus on the goal. I'll be focusing on indexing new plant species. I think I saw a few new specimens around here.
Okay, so now we are prompted to check the cork board, and there's going to be more information on here that we didn't read before. Now, we read all these notes with the exception of this one here. So we're going to read this. Tobacco plant leaves are great for healing venomous bites. But what else can they heal? I saw this plant on the north side of the camp. After climbing a rock, there are plenty of them. It's a good place to start. You can see little skull and crossbones. You can see the snake, which is obviously going to be venomous, and the tobacco plant. It also says we can go north to find a tobacco plant up in the corner there, so that is where we're going to head. But first, I want to check out the rest of the stuff in here. I also want to look at our notebook, because our notebook should be updated in some way, right? There should be something about a tobacco plant, but there's not. So going north to find a tobacco plant is exactly what we are going to do. But before we do that, we are going to walk around the tent and read anything we haven't read before, like, oh, a note over here. Skull-painted warriors, mysterious painted warriors appeared yesterday on the riverbank as we floated by. Who are they? Our friends the Yabawaka seem afraid to talk about them. So these people look like they mean business, and hopefully we won't run into them anytime soon, because I'm still getting used to the game, and they look like they will just wipe the floor with me. And what else do we have here? It's another note. Vine of the soul, the effect of psychedelic substances usually lasts several hours. In that time, the participant of the ceremony experiences a spiritual revelation. I'm not even going to attempt to say what this is. I'm not going to attempt to say what that is. This is some kind of gourd. The euthanasia gourd. It's not even close to what that is, but whatever. It is to be taken only in the presence of a shaman who also serves as a guide. So there we go with that information there, and we have another recording here.
Recording number 1. So, I'm on the expedition with my wife Mia. Hey Mia. Hey Mia, say hello.
Oh, hello.
The tent is up, so we can start working right away. I'll focus on indexing new plant species, and Mia, can you explain what you're gonna do?
Well, I'm going to meet the Jabahwaka tomorrow.
I'm worried, you know.
Of course you are. But I'm ready, don't you think?
I believe so, but it's still dangerous.
I know, honey. Don't worry.
Okay, that's all for now. It was
Mia?
and Jake Higgins, day 1.
So there we go. We get a bit of extra information. I really hope these audio logs are found throughout the game. I've always enjoyed them. If any of you have played any of the System Shock games, that was probably one of my favorite parts of the System Shock game, other than the gameplay itself, obviously. But in games, whenever you discover audio logs, it really just sort of, it adds that story of other people and experiences to it, which gives it a very sort of personal feel and really sort of sucks you into the story. At least in my opinion, that's what it does. Anyways, enough about that. We've read everything in here that we haven't read before. It is now time for us to go north to find a tobacco plant. So we're going to look at our watch, and we're going to switch to the compass, and we're going to see which direction north is. So north is that away, and that's the way we're going to head. And there's another machete. Can't have too many machetes. There's even another machete. I don't think we can take any more machetes. Nope, we're full out of machete space. So remember, we had 5 or 6 machetes in this expedition and not a single match, which makes a whole lot of sense, but that's just the way it works in order for the storyline to progress. So we are heading north, and I'm kind of doing it quickly, but at the same time, I already know where to go because I've done this several times. And look, there's a conveniently placed and apparently quite sturdy rope that's been affixed here, and we are going to use this to climb up this. And how high? Let me ask you, how high do you think, based on my height, how high do you think that would be? Maybe 15, 20 feet at most? Probably, right? Anyways, we're going to climb up here, because we're on the way to find some tobacco plants. And I'm sure absolutely nothing is going to go wrong as we climb up to the top of this rock. It's going to be smooth. Never mind.
Oh, fuck me.
Oh, another thing I should point out, he's kind of a potty mouth.
Mia, I know I was supposed to not call, but a line snapped and I fell down a good 30 feet.
Jasmine, are you okay?
I'm not sure.
Hold on. I'll walk away a bit so they can't hear you. Let me know once you have checked yourself.
Okay, so to check yourself, you're going to go to C and bring up the wheel here, and we're going to go to the magnifying glass here, which is inspect. And then you could pick different quadrants of your body and check them out. So the one arm, the one leg, no, we're good there. Other leg, we're good there. And then the final arm, and oh my god.
That's definitely not good.
I would agree with that. So the other thing, as you heard him say, he did say 30 feet. There's no way in hell that's 30 feet. I mean, he kind of exaggerated. He did take a nasty fall. I'm not saying that fall would be pleasant. I'm just saying that's not 30 feet. There's no way that's 30 feet.
It's all right. Nothing's broken. Just scratches and bruises. Nothing to worry about.
In the jungle, every scratch can be dangerous. You need to patch everything up. Do you remember how to do it?
Now, of course, I do. But for the sake of you guys, I'm going to say no, I do not remember. So, no.
I can't say that I remember.
Look for Molineria. It has long leaves without any markings and is surrounded by yellow flowers.
Okay, I'll go look for it.
You should have it in your notepad. Call me when you've treated your wound.
Roger that. Over and out.
Okay, so now there's more indications that we have new information in our notepad. So we're going to go to our notepad and we're going to see bandage, the Molinera leaf. So we can go to the section for plants and it shows the Molinera plant. And we can go to the first aid, which will show us information about scratches and abrasions. The effects reduce condition. If untreated, it will become infected. Known treatment. Dressing covers up the wound, allowing it to heal and protects from infection. A dressing combined with a disinfecting substance will speed up the healing process. Now, this is how I've died once in the game so far while playing, is through infection. So this is no joke. You definitely need to find things that can dress your wounds because you can get abrasions by stumbling over a rock in this game. I'm not joking. I've got an abrasion by practically doing nothing. Maybe a 1 foot drop and I somehow got an abrasion, and that's what killed me. So we are not going to fool around. We are going to go and find the Molinera plant and we're going to treat this wound lickety-split. I also like the fact that he exaggerated the height of this, but at the same time, he sort of downplayed the wound itself, saying it was just a scratch, because I don't know about you, but this looks like way more than just a scratch to me. That looks nasty. Like that is a chunk right out of you. So, yeah, on one hand, he sort of like, exaggerated. On the other hand, he kind of downplayed it. But this man is an enigma. We are going to go and try to find this plant. And then there's a stone there, a big stone. Oh, some yellow flowers. So luckily they do a good job in this intro to really sort of help you find what you need. And we're going to take our machete and we're going to chop up this plant. And it takes 3 swipes and then we've done it. So from here we can start grabbing. Oh, we've actually, for certain things, they automatically add it to your inventory. You might have seen that it did automatically add to your inventory. For other things, you're going to have to manually pick up the items that fall. Okay, so now that we have the leaves, what we need to do is we need to check them out in our backpack, and we can see them right here. And then we need to bring up our crafting table. So we're going to take the leaf and put it on the crafting table. Now, it just needs 1 leaf in order to create a bandage, so we're going to go ahead and craft. And now we can see the bandage here. Now, in order to apply the bandage to your arm, what you're going to need to do is go to the inspect, and you have to go to your arm. So now you can see both the backpack being open and your arm, and you're simply going to drag it over the white dot. Now, the white dot is something you're going to see very often. You're going to see it when it comes to campfires and a bunch of other things. You saw it when it came to the hand drill for adding the dry substance in order to create the ember. So look for the little circle there, and we're going to place this over there, and that looks perfectly normal, I'm sure.
Here I am, all wrapped up nicely.
Does it hurt?
Now, we're not going to be complaining. We didn't complain before, so we're not going to complain now. We're going to say not much.
Not much.
Good. Hopefully, it will heal fast.
So, how are you doing?
I'll be initiated in a few days. I am optimistic. I expect to be treated as one of their own after that, and I should be able to ask some questions then. Some elders are opposed to this, though. Luckily, Chief Kouini is on my side.
Why are they opposed?
I think they were divided even before I joined them. The chief wanted to approach the World Health Alliance peacefully, but a few of the elders insisted on fighting. Now, the Jabahuaca basically have 2 factions.
Sounds dangerous, Mia. Be careful.
I'm not in any danger. Told you, I'm optimistic.
Yeah, nothing go wrong. Absolutely nothing go wrong.
Jake, please come in.
Or not.
Jake, I need you here. Jake, please. Please answer me.
Mia? What happened? Mia, speak to me. Mia! What the hell's going on over there?
Okay, so now we need to find Mia. But before we do, we need to do something which any sane person would do if they just got a frantic call from their wife who sounded terrified. We're going to stop and look at the Cork Board and read some new information here, particularly this note right here. So the jaguar, or jaguar, as I'm pretty sure it's how it's pronounced. I'm not entirely sure, but that could be, maybe that's a sort of a regional thing. Maybe it's sort of like, tomato. I have no idea. But the jaguar, the biggest cat in the Americas, stronger jaws than a lion. They can bite straight through the skull of their prey. Hunts both in the forest and in the water. Nowhere is safe. And it says here underneath this picture, a tribal hunter met a jaguar tonight. he's lucky to be alive. And that looks nasty. That looks way worse than the little scratch we got in our arm before. So now I know why he probably called that one wound he had a simple scratch, because he's probably seen this picture before and realizes he got off pretty light. So anyways, we're going to quit here. There is nothing else really to find in here that I can tell. There doesn't seem to be any other audio recordings. As well, too, at this point, any normal sane individual would already be halfway to this village in a dead sprint. So yeah, let's go do that and see how this works out for us. Again, I'm sure everything will be fine. And so it begins, our stay in Green Hell. So there you go, folks. That was the introduction video for Green Hell. Now there should already be a second video up which gets into some more of the gameplay and kicks off the actual survival aspect of it. So be sure to check that out if you enjoyed this one, because it's going to be more of this, only a bit more interesting and a bit more of what the game is actually about. However, that is it for now, so thank you all so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, night, morning, evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. May your stay in the Green Hell be as pleasant as possible, and I'll see you all again very soon.